PUBcast.
This will never work! Hello, welcome to PUBcast.
Right, okay.
Right, okay.
Yeah. As normal with PUBcast, anything can happen, right?
Anything that can happen, will happen, does happen.
It does happen, not all the time.
Not all the time.
All the things that we
Sometimes.
mentioned last time hasn't actually happened yet.
No one's legs got licked.
No, that's the thing. But there is this candle here, so that candle could explode.
And it could shoot its hot wax all over your face.
My face.
Your face.
And then someone could come over and be like, "Excuse me, sir, that you have all this wax all over your face."
Right, and then you're like, "Oh my god, I'm going wax on my face."
Would you really say that? I would scream. I would scream like a little girl.
No, I'd carry on. I'd carry on.
Really? That's hardcore.
Yeah, well, I'm hardcore, man. I've got to do it for the fans. All of our devoted fans.
All three fans.
Yeah.
You, me, and your mum. She was actually saying how nice the podcast is last night. Yeah, she was really good.
Oh yeah? Yeah, she told me
says
about
hi,
that.
by the way.
Yeah, was that at the special needs school where she works?
It was,
Yeah.
We went in the cupboards. Anyway, what are we going to be talking this week about PUBcast?
This week we're talking about South Park, and more specifically season 21, episode...
The latest one, right?
Yeah, the
really
latest
good.
one. It was alright.
It was, I mean, I liked
okay.
it. I mean, I like South Park.
It was strained a little bit, like having conversation with you.
It's just life.
Yeah, it's difficult.
But South Park is so crazy from each previous episode. It kind of always wants to up itself, or at least not up itself, but at least get on the same par of the oddness. Like the remember the berries?
Member berries.
That was really good.
I just felt with this one they had again took our jobs, and it's always felt like topical. Always it felt topical. It felt this time. Now I'm wary of, like when someone does something really, really great for ages, like Angry Joe Show is getting now, like it's getting a lot of hate. Like they do something really good, and as soon as they change style, everyone just puts hate on it. But which maybe we are doing a little bit, but I did feel that this episode was a little bit weak.
Yeah,
it pulled back things that weren't really necessary to be there. I didn't really get what they were doing with like the renovating houses thing. Like maybe it's an American thing.
Maybe it's an American thing. I mean, I thought it was funny.
I thought it was,
but I didn't really. I know what you mean. I didn't really understand it too well. I can't remember how the last episode was with, because Carmen's got a girlfriend now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And he's a bit like, oh my god, like I thought that was funny, but at the same time, I didn't really understand.
What they were getting at, because
he was like, she's abusive, she's mentally abusive.
Yeah.
And I know Carmen lies, and he's a bit weird.
See,
in that sense,
there was some kind of humour. There was some humour in it, but I think like over the past few seasons, it's got better. There's been more of a point to it. Like originally, I think a lot of it was just funny because it was funny in the moment. Like it was a funny thing to do.
Fair enough.
But now, like one of the things that as I've matured, maybe you would still like the early stuff.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
But as I've matured,
okay, thank you.
That like I feel the show has matured as well with it, and with trying to make a point, and I feel that like it hasn't really hit in them same notes.
What was the point when they had the aliens come out of someone's, like the big satellite comes out the arse?
I don't remember that.
Remember that was one of the first episodes when like the aliens inserts a satellite dish in Carmen's arse, and like the satellite, it's basically he goes like he wants to, it's like, oh, I really want to do a shit, guys, and then he takes his trousers off, and then like this massive 20 times larger than Carmen thing comes out of his arsehole, from the side, so you don't see anything, but you see it come out of his bum, and then it sends a signal into space. So what was that?
I can't remember that. I definitely need to go back and rewatch.
What was the whole point of the anime episode? That's a really good. I love that episode. That's really good.
Yeah. So, but I mean, more and more particularly in the last few seasons, there's been it's satire. It's been satire.
Yeah. Okay.
And what I've really loved about it, as alongside the ridiculousness of the humour. Of the other type of humour they do. So I think that's quite a nice one.
Remember the midget, when they had to fight a midget? They called him a midget. It was a tiny little person, but they were like, oh, look at that midget. No, Cartman was saying that.
No, I don't remember that.
Do you not remember that? So basically there was a little person who came into school to talk to the class and the school about little people. I think he had a special skill, but he was just a little person, which is fair enough. And Cartman never saw someone like that before, and basically said it's a midget, it's a dwarf, and the guy was like, well, actually, we don't like to be called that. We like to be called little people or little person or whatever. And he kept basically pissing off the guy. Cartman kept pissing off the guy, until eventually the guy was like, I don't give a shit, because he was like 30, he was like 40. He's like, I'm going to kick your ass. So he goes to fight Cartman in the school, like a grown adult, but obviously he's a little person, and Cartman like beats the shit out of him. He's like, then he's laughing as he does it. It's just really stupid.
There was that funny bit when on this episode of South Park, when they're all around like talking to Alexa. And then the girlfriend comes back, and then everybody leaves, and then they have the argument, and she walks out and is like really sad, and he's like, oh, Alexa, add sweaty balls to my shopping list. And he goes, sweaty balls added to your shopping list.
Did you know about, like, so they did it loud enough, so it would access real Alexas when they were watching it, so it would set alarms like at 7 a.m.
Did that really work though?
Apparently, there was a thing on Twitter, like people were like, thank you.
I thought that Alexa got used to your voice, like you'd have to program it.
You can now, I think it's like anyone. As long as you say, hello Alexa,
right,
or whatever.
So as long as you say, hello Alexa, set my alarm for 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah. It would do it. It would go set an alarm for 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Okay.
I think someone's just won a video game. And that's the nature of a podcast, right? That anything happens.
Yes.
God, those guys are hammering their penises so hard right now.
Yeah. I can't wait for Penis Hammer 3 to come out.
Oh,
it's meant to, the graphics on it are supposed to be.
I'll be pretty good at that game. I've got Penis Hammer 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get the third one when that comes out.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, but the good thing about when you play it is you seem to speedrun it because you always finish it really quickly.
I know. That's it. I'm a completionist. I gotta like do it. I gotta do it multiple times. See if I can beat it each time.
Yeah.
But that's Penis Hammer 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've lost count. There's so many Penis Hammers right now.
Yeah.
So
that does it for our podcast about
one last thing
about
though.
Penis Hammer. Oh, okay.
Penis Hammer. Yeah. I was gonna say, which South Park character would you be if you had to be a South Park character?
I would probably be Stan.
Stan? Why would you be Stan?
Because he's the first one whose name came to my head just now.
What? Come on. I don't know.
Alright, who'd you be?
I don't know. I'd like to be...
You look a little bit like Randy.
Randy, could be Randy.
You look a little
I like
bit
Butters. I think I'd like to be Butters.
Yeah.
Because he's so innocent. And he's such an idiot.
That 3D virtual... When Cartman persuades him that he's gone into like there's got a virtual reality headset on, he's just got like the goggles.
Oh really? I don't remember that.
And like the headphones. And Cartman's on the other end, like talking Butters, and Butters is like walking around the school thinking he's like in virtual reality.
Oh, I need to watch that
goes
episode.
up to his parents, tells them to fuck off and stuff. And like I was like, come back.
Oh, he's done that so many times. Do you remember Awesemo 3000 when he's a robot?
No, I don't
remember.
remember.
We keep telling each other episodes and we don't remember. So basically, Cartman dresses up as a robot,
right?
But he's dressed up in as a cardboard box robot,
right?
And he's like, "I'm your only friend, Butters." And then Butters thinks that he's a real robot, and he's like, "You can tell me all your intimate secrets." And he tells him like he does really stupid stuff. And then there's one day when Butters like, "I'm gonna get that Cartman because he's been really mean to me." And he's just like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Oh, I've got some secret footage of him playing in the garden with his dolls." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to show it at school tomorrow." And he's like, "I don't think you should do that. It's a really lame idea." And he's like, no, you should. And then it kind of backfires him a little bit because Butters is like, "You don't need food.
Right.
All you need, like, you don't need food to survive." He's like, "You're right. I don't need food." So he's like so when he goes to sleep, he's like in the bathroom trying to eat toothpaste because he's not allowed to eat anything. So yeah, but no, there's so many good episodes. We'll have to
we'll have to have a South Park-a-thon.
That'd be good. That'd be really nice. But as for PUBcast, that's us
over and out with,
and we'll see you next time at the wank machine. I mean the PUBcast. Tosscast PUBcast.
For more hot wax all over our faces.
Oh, hot wax.
Oh.
Bye. God, those guys are hammering their penises so hard right now.
Yeah.